Hi, my name is Ben Melson, and my children attend Acton Academy. Acton wasn't really on our radar when our oldest first started going to school. We started him kindergarten in our local public elementary school here. Sort of spent a career working on the policy side of that, and so that's sort of where we always wanted our kids to go. What we found out pretty quickly was he was one of about 25, 26 students who were in that class. He was very well behaved, so he was sort of overlooked very often, actually, and a handful of students got the majority of a teacher's attention just because they had to deal with those students. And quite frankly, the administration and the leadership of the school was not very active or involved, and there wasn't a very involved PTA. And so that opened our eyes to start looking for other options in our community, and that's when we found Acton Science Fair. I believe that our public school system is really set up in the same way it was about 150 years ago, 100 years ago, where we're educating students to enter a factory-based workforce. And the reality of the world we live in and the world our children are growing up to live in, for them to be successful, is that we're in a 21st century digital economy. And so they've got to have that skill set that's much different than a traditional learning environment can provide, I think. So to us, the big deal was, one, the smaller class sizes are, scientifically research proven to help students, especially early on in their educational development. But two, their focus on skills development is the biggest thing, because it transfers across no matter what our child decides to do later in life. They need to learn how to communicate, how to get along socially, how to learn, and how to be curious about learning as well, and not have it be something miserable. And I think that showed up pretty early on for our son. When he has a friend group where he feels supported, but he's challenged in a way that he has to put himself out there. Show and tell is not just like bring a cool object and you don't really have to speak. I mean, you've got to have some detail behind what you brought, why you brought it. And that sort of put him out there, and he realized he could do it. And I think very quickly that changed his mindset, where now, he's making decisions about what he wants to eat for breakfast, and we're just getting it for him, and he makes it. So it's really neat to see him pick that up, that confidence up early on, and then it spreads across the kids too in the class, which is also cool. And I think a big piece of sort of what the Acton environment's all about. The biggest thing though for me is that it is not just the students that are together in the classroom, it's a whole group of folks, the community and the parents coming together outside the classroom. We've got like monthly parent get-togethers, but self-motivating parents that want to be involved. And we had a retreat not long ago that was great, that we had probably 25 to 50 students there or learners there, and then a lot of parents. And the parents probably had as much fun as the students did, just getting to know each other and hanging out together. And so to me, that became a big deal, because we're all here to support our kids, but in a way, their whole class and all of the students here. And I think that is just so starkly different than what we experienced in a public school setting, that to me, I would say, forget the price or the location of where you're looking to go to school. Look at the environment and the culture of the people there. And I think when you step inside an Acton, it's noticeable right away, just sort of the difference in the happiness, quite frankly, of the guides here, but also the students and what they're learning. The exponential growth of that, I think, that we've seen just in a year and a half has been tremendous. So we're pretty excited to see what happens in the next few years.